Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Natique in Elk Grove, California, and NatiqueYarns.com coming to you live on this very chilly Thursday.
It's very cold out there.
I feel like we're in that stage. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that meme that has there's 12 seasons, and one of them is Fool's Spring, and then there's another winter. And I feel like we just came off of Fool's Spring, and the weather went, haha, just kidding. By the way, it's still winter.
Yeah.
It's a little extra crispy out there this morning. When I got in the car this morning, the weather on my watch said 35. It has now made it up to a whopping 45.
Yay. Sunshine.
So, yay. It's getting slightly less freezing. But as a result, I cannot get my hands warm. My fingers are staying like popsicles.
Mine too.
I know. So I know somebody's gonna be like, "Why aren't you wearing gloves?" Because I'm inside.
Right.
I have to wear gloves inside. I know. I work in a yarn store and I don't have any gloves on. The whole thing.
Well,
I do have gloves in my bag, but I feel like it would make it kind of hard to function to do this stuff during the video.
It would, yeah.
I'm a very tactile person, so gloves drive me crazy too, because I'm I can't feel what's in my hand right, and so it throws me off.
Gloves for me are for outside. Fingerless mitts are okay inside, but gloves for outside.
I need to get some of that conductive thread too that you stitch
What?
into your gloves.
What does it do?
It makes it so that you can touch your phone screen
Oh.
and it actually responds when you have gloves on.
They sell. Well, I guess if you're gonna make them, you would.
It comes and it looks like a bobbin, would go in the bottom of your sewing machine.
Yeah. Okay, that's
most people don't need very much of it.
awesome.
But I actually have a shirt that apparently has conductive thread in it, probably not intentionally to be conductive, but if the sleeve comes up and touches the back of my watch, it thinks I'm trying to type on it and stuff. And
That's funny.
No, please don't
That's
send that
funny.
weird text message. It's like when Lisa's kittens run across the keyboard. It's a little bit ridiculous, so I have to be careful with that shirt that I roll up the sleeves so that it doesn't touch.
I can just see the message that goes out. That's funny.
Thankfully, I've always caught it before it actually does anything, but it's a little craziness. Oh, see, Beverly said they're snowing again.
They're colder than we are.
Yeah, you're definitely colder than we are. Okay, so this morning, because tomorrow is Grand Prize Drawing Day, so we're just going to talk about the daily prize, which is one of Danielle's really fun patterns, the Masonry Cowl. It's very beginner friendly. It's just knits and purls to create this little brick pattern. They look like bamboo shoots to me, probably because they did it in green. But they've got those long rectangular bricks, all just done by doing knits and purls. We've paired it with a Aran weight cotton yarn that is a chainette yarn, so you can kind of see the little tiny, looks like knit stitches in there almost.
I want to see the machinery that makes that.
Right? I feel like Juan might have a video.
I was gonna say, Juan, help us out here.
But so there's 2 balls here, which is enough to make either the small or the medium size, aka the gaiter and necklace length sizes. But of course you get the pattern written to be able to do any of the 3 sizes. And how you get entered into the daily drawing is by interacting with the video. So lots of you see all these beautiful comments. You guys have been interacting already. So if you react to the video, then you get 1 entry per reaction. And then if you comment on the video, you get 5 entries for every comment. And then if you want the most entries for the least amount of work, you can share the video with the little arrow in the corner. To your friends does it right away, to your stories does it right away. In Messenger, you have to pick the person you want to send it to. You can pick a group, but wherever you share, just come back to the video and comment shared to and where, just because just commenting shared to is a little weird. And shared to is the keyword that the handy dandy comment picker uses to find your entries. You'll get 11 entries per share if you remember to come back and comment on the video. Then we'll go over to our handy dandy comment picker. Today's winner is going to be determined off of yesterday's video interactions.
Maria Brandt, congratulations. If you're local, which I'm sorry I don't remember, you can come by the boutique and let us know you have a prize and we'll get it out of the cabinet for you. If you're not local, next time you make a purchase, just tell us in the notes you have a prize and we will include it in your shipment. As long as you let us know you might have a prize, we will check. I can't believe that electric slide is still here. Ooh, so much pretty merino cloud. Who's ready for yarn?
Right. Oh, it's
Whoop,
so
don't look.
pretty. Yeah, don't look at it.
I just gave a sneak peek. Oops. We'll look at caramels instead.
I'm almost ready, but I'm not ready.
I think today is a jalapeno day. What do you guys think? Oh, the purple. You want to go look back at that purple? Let's go back here. There's the purple. Neon. And a little bit softer of a shade right here. Shadows and light are offsetting the color just a little bit. I want to get... Nope, it's turning blue. It's very, very, very purple.
Okay, I am so in love with this yarn. Like,
I keep sneak peeking.
It may just need a sweater out of it.
I know, right?
There's not a ton of sweaters that use this technique, but I did find one this morning. So you can show them. The brand new Dream in Color Pop-Up Club for February 2023. Still weird to say that.
I know.
Is this gorgeous colorway that I basically want to call it mermaid shoes with a splash of pickleball.
Yes, pretty much.
Mermaid shoes with a splash of pickle, which doesn't make any sense, but this is like the colorway pickleball is this splash, and then the rest of it just reminds me so much of mermaid shoes.
You know what I'm going to call it now?
No.
Oh, pickle shoes.
Oh dear. So this yarn is fingering weight 400 yards per skein of the most scrumptious blend of 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. I have to unfurl one.
Yes, please. I was going to ask.
I have to unfurl one because it's so beautiful. So this is one of the assigned pooling colorways that
Try to get it all in one shot here. There we go.
Do I need to like do like that?
That works. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty that is.
So what assigned pooling is this technique of dyeing where they have a quarter of the skein is dyed in a pop of color. Veronica and Nancy of Dream in Color basically over their winter break decided to do all these fun new colorways, and this is one of the first ones since the ones that you guys saw for like Small Business Saturday when we had those out of line cowl kits.
Yes, that was a fun project.
So this one has that electric lime green for your color splash, and then your background has all of these really pretty shades of aqua and teal. There's some plum, some emerald, a little olive, a little bit of like a rusty red.
Ooh, get this one over here. Look at how
Yeah,
pretty
there's
that
lots
is.
there's lots of that, Susan purple palette right there.
Yeah. Yes, we did say fingering. And there was a question earlier. The purple yarn was from Art Yarns. Merino Cloud. Pickle shoes. I like it.
I have lots of patterns to show you guys this morning.
Yep. Hang on, Gail. We'll
and
show you.
How it knits up really depends on what pattern you pick. Let's see here.
Emerald Bay-ish. I think that works.
There I'm going to start with this one. Let me get some links here.
Oh my god, it's so pretty. I keep picking a favorite spot and then I look somewhere else and I'm like, oh wait, I like that one better. Oh dear.
Right?
I just need the whole skein apparently.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one for showing you guys because I feel like it's most similarly dyed to this, where it has a more variegated background and then the pop of color. So Dawn Barker is one of the most well-known designers for the assigned pooling technique, where you pick that color that is the contrast and you do something different when you come to that color. So in this case on Glide, she has these little like flowers everywhere where the pink splash was. Let me see, this picture will zoom it in a little bit more. So she had that like variegated green background, and then every time she came to the pink, she does this little color splash stitch. So the great thing is there are already lots of patterns out there that use this technique. So like this one is lots of stockinette with a ribbed border at the end so that it's not roly-poly. And you can see you keep doing the little flowers even through the ribbing. She even did them in like right at the bind off. I would probably leave it out of the bind off because it makes the edge a little uneven.
Organic.
Yeah. But this is a 2 skein sized shawl on this one. There are so many patterns. Like then we have Little Buds, which is just this cute little garter stitch shawl where they did, I'm not quite sure what this stitch is because you can see it's kind of like wrapped around itself. It kind of reminds me of that one where you like purl 2 together, knit 2 together, purl 2 together, and then like essentially like pass one over to kind of cluster it all together and not increase a stitch.
You know what I find fun? It's like, I don't know which side is which, but you've got a right side and a wrong side. She didn't do this everything on one side.
Yeah, well, because this is garter stitch, so it's like you're doing the same technique.
But you can see
how different. No matter
what
what row you come to it on, and it looks different on the 2 sides. Like, this one has the bumps showing right here, but then these over here have, like, you can't see the bumps. They almost look more like a double wrap stitch, and it's because the bumps are on the other side of the work. So whatever the stitch is, it's on the other side. I feel like somebody did it out of what?
Yeah,
this one's like very dark side of the moon kind of color on that one.
They look different to me. I love that.
And this is Annie Baker Designs. She had a couple that were this kind of dye technique pattern writing as well. This one is like a 1 skein project. They say 524 yards. But you can just do 1 and go till you run out. And I'm going to tell you, since it's just a basic triangular kerchief scarf, please don't do size 2.5 needles. 4 to 6, depending on your preferred gauge for fingering weight yarn. Save yourself from the tiny needles. It will take forever.
Whoa.
Here's another fun one, the Crescent Puff. So this has this like all over lace pattern, and then a puff stitch every time you get to the color splash.
It's like,
you want to know a secret? This one's crochet.
I thought so.
So crocheters, there are also fun patterns for the assigned pooling for you. This is another one by Dawn Barker. This is Float, which is another triangular shawl with the ribbed border so that it's not curly, but it's a different flower stitch. Like, I like this picture because you can see here's a couple different patterns that she's done with the assigned pooling. So if you want a ton of options from one designer, Dawn Barker, this is like her shtick, is the assigned pooling.
I need to know what that one is.
Okay.
And I don't know if it says.
Let me throw a couple more links down the line for
okay.
everyone. So this is, again, this is the February Pop-Up Club, which is one of Dream and Color's limited edition colorways. So when it is sold out, it is sold out. It is not part of their regular line. So if you fall in love with this color like I have, you're gonna want to get it now.
Shelly, you would love to try it. I'm sure we can set you up with some yarn and a pattern.
It is a very fun technique. Okay, so here's a few more. We're going to be very pattern heavy today because with the Pop-Up Club, there's only one color at a time. But we know you guys like to go down the Ravelry rabbit hole too.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
this is the Dandelion hat by Not Even Gonna Try by Steph.
By long name. Wow.
It's probably Dandelion hat in another language.
Uh-huh.
But they did this really fun stitch, like if you've done our Flyaway Lotus cowl pattern, they basically did that stitch, but they did it more times to use up all the colors in the color splash. Theirs was very like Alexandra's Dark Side of the Moon kind of look with the little rainbow splashes. I think like, that one actually is Dark Side of the Moon.
It's like fireworks.
Right? And you can see some, like this one, they decided to switch it up a little bit, and sometimes they did pearl bumps, and sometimes they did the little starbursts. So it's like...
Look, there's even a stockinette one.
Yeah. Like, so sometimes they ignored the color splash. Like, maybe they did every other.
Yeah.
So you can kind of play with it, too. Like, if you're doing one of these projects and all your little starbursts are stacking...
Skip one.
Skip it up. Do every other color splash, and then it will break it up a little different because the color will get used up at a different ratio. Then
Ooh,
I really like this one.
That's pretty.
Same kind of stitch, but done in a cowl. This is the Sunrise Sunset Assigned Pooling Cowl. So just a simple garter stitch border, and then that really fun starburst pattern on the stockinette background. This one, it's funny, the way the colors are, it kind of reminds me of like those pictures when there's a whole bunch of the hot air balloons up at once.
Yeah.
It looks like all the little balloons floating along.
Kind of reminds me of bird tracks.
Very cheerful. One skein for the cowl. Then here's another one by Dawn Barker. This is Calico. This is more of your traditional triangular shawl with the increases down the middle and at the edges with that kind of flower starburst stitch pattern to it.
Oh, that's pretty. How did she do that?
And that one's a 2 skein project. Well, she says it's basically either a bauble or a popcorn.
Really?
You're just gonna have to get one,
right?
Get one and try it.
I
to
know.
Find out. Oh, here's the one that you were saying you needed to know what it is.
Oh yes,
this is Mind.
Ooh, pretty.
Which is like she did seed stitch or linen stitch. It looks woven,
Whoa.
so I'm thinking linen stitch every time she came to.
That's trippy.
The color, and it looks like with this one she just did it with one that was more of like a variegated. But so this one you would do it every time you come to the lime green. You would do that linen stitch pattern, which gives you that woven effect.
That is so cool.
We'll just add that one to Susan's.
And just share it. I'll just leave it open. Well, I'll close it. I'll find it later.
Yeah. Then here's another fun one. This is Ice Pancakes by Chris Plato. This is kind of more of your shallow triangular shawlette shape with like little picots on the garter stitch border, like little tiny ones.
Cute.
And that's another 1 skein project.
There are 400 yards in the skein, Shelley. Whoa. Whoa.
Let me throw some more links in there, because if I throw them all at the beginning, you guys won't be able to find any of them as I talk about them.
So take a peek at the label again. 400 yards. I gotta read through the camera. 70 superwash, 20 cashmere, 10 nylon. On a 0 to 2, that's if you're doing socks. If you're going to do a shawl, like Anna said, do a 4 to a 6. Maybe even a 7 if you want it lacy, you know, a loose knit. So
it's so
pretty.
beautiful. I mean, it's basically mermaid shoes and then that gorgeous electric yellow-green splash. Okay, this is one of my favorites that I found this morning. Because this is a really cool stitch to do this crosshatch stitch.
It's like that dream stitch, it's sometimes called.
It's basically one row you do like knit the stitches, wrapping it 2 or 3 times. And you would do that when you come to your splash color. And then on the next row, you drop the extra wraps, and it's sort of like you do a cable, except for you take the loops of like 4 of them and pull them over the others so they pull through each other, and then knit them in that new order. So it creates that little woven effect. So this one is just kind of a simple scarfy wrap, a wider rectangle, nothing too crazy. And that one takes 2 skeins to make a 14-inch wide by 64-inch long. Or if you want one long enough to be like a convertible wrap size, you would need 3 skeins, which wouldn't that be pretty?
Gorgeous.
Like throw a few buttons on the shoulder to make it into that convertible wrap. It would be so gorgeous. It does say this one is worked on the bias, so that's what gives you that little bit of like a diagonal that you see there, which would still be really fun for a convertible wrap. It would give you a different look.
Oh,
to have
yeah.
it be on the bias. We should probably do that next.
Mm-hmm. Just write it down, because
right?
we have shiny brain.
Because remembering that later is haha very funny.
Pretty little sweater.
Yeah, that's the sweater I found that I was like, ooh. So you could do that, and then you could do just this in the yoke like they did, and then when the pop-up club one starts to run out, blend it with mermaid shoes, or even one of the solids, like a nice dark teal or an emerald green, and just kind of fade it out into the body color so that all of the fun is right here in the yoke. And you can see they just did like this little, none of the pictures are super close up. This one's probably the best. But this stitch where it's like knit one, slip one, or purl one, slip one, because you can see like the gray goes in front of the navy blue.
Oh, all right.
So nothing too elaborate, because of course you wouldn't want to have something crazy on your sweater. But she has 17 sizes.
Wow.
From a 30-inch circumference to a 62-inch circumference. And they did it basically out of 1 to 3 skeins of the color splash color, and then 3 to 4 of the main color. Really fun.
Did we show them?
Like that. That's The Murder
Yeah.
of Crows by Dawn Barker.
A funny name for a sweater.
Then this one some of you might have seen before, because we used to have this
Oh, that's
yarn
right.
in the store. This is the Scribblings Cowl. Just a simple stockinette cowl, and then every time you come to the color splash, you wrap each stitch twice. So you get a little bit looser fabric there, which makes that color pop up just a little bit, gives it a little bit of a 3-dimensional look. And you can see on hers just happened to pool into this beautiful spiral, which stuff like that, pure luck.
Yeah. Unless you like starting and ripping and starting and ripping and starting and ripping and changing.
You can plan that out, but it takes a lot of swatching.
Yeah.
Which I know you guys don't like me when I say that word, so just saying, just let the yarn be what it wants to be, and it will be beautiful. So that's the Scribblings Cowl.
Shelly says she made that one. Lots of fun and easy knitting.
Then we have the Popping Yarn Dictatorship.
Oh my
which
goodness.
I guess means the yarn is the dictator
The
in
boss.
this situation. But look at the shape of this one.
Whoa. Look, it made a little
I
heart.
know, it
That's
pulled
so
really
cute.
weird because then there's like a little
A little bow or something.
table or something.
Oh
there.
my gosh.
Like it pulled really funny as that one came out, but look, all scrunched up, you can't tell that it's any sort of weird shape.
They look like little flower buds there.
Yeah, they're like...
Oh, they are. Sort of. Okay, I'm just going to get some of her patterns, figure out her technique.
Like this one looks like one of those where it's like, I don't know, maybe like knit 5 together, but you're like knit yarn over, knit yarn over, knit yarn over into the same stitch.
I wonder if it's some double or triple wraps and then you twist them and put them back on.
You're going to have to get the pattern. This one's a free pattern.
Oh, okay, good. We can find out.
We can dive into that one later and see what craziness we can get into.
I need to cast on.
Hold still.
I'm trying.
So this one is 2 skeins to make it. Then one more.
Oh.
This is the Random Flower Shawl by Dolly Leishram. Really pretty stockinette background with these cute little woven looking stitches. Like they look a little bit like that knit below lotus stitch, but there's something else going on there that I'm like really intrigued by. I really like the texture that this one creates. It's very 3-dimensional, like almost like little puff stitches. That one is, I would just do 2 skeins because it's just your basic keep going till you run out of yarn triangle. So it's like, why bother with that other 100 yards? It'll be big enough with 2 skeins. Because they say 78-inch wingspan, 27-inch depth, which is, in my opinion, a little bit big anyways. So
yeah, it's really long.
just go for 2 skeins. You just go till you're almost out of yarn, do a garter border, and be done with it. So that is the Random Flower Shawl. And that is for the beautiful Dream in Color Pop-Up Club colorway. That is the February 2023 color. That gorgeous look of mermaid shoes with the pickleball splash in it.
Lisa, I would say there are some that are 2 and some that are 1, and pretty much make it whatever size you want, since they're shawls and scarves. The interesting pooling one that had a heart, you might have to plan out your yardage for that if you only do a small one with 1 skein. But, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. What was that? I just missed. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was probably about 50-50 on like one skein versus 2 skein versions.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me link the calendar for you guys, and we will go talk about classes.
Bye, pretty yarn. We'll come back.
Okay, so.
Oop, Karen's been here.
Let's see. Coming up on Saturday, which is just 2 days away, we have the kickoff to the Art Yarns Marled Sweater class, which is 3 sessions this Saturday from 11 to 1, and then March 11th and 18th from 11 to noon. That is that beautiful pink and orange sweater of Boss Ladies that you guys saw on yesterday's video because she tried it on mid-progress.
So cute.
Then on Tuesday, February 21st, we have the Bias Mosaic Shawl. This one is done out of worsted weight yarn. Ours is knit out of 4 colors of cumulus. You could do 2 colors, 1 solid, 1 cumulus rainbow to get that gradient effect without changing colors so often. But in a class, we are going to teach you how to do the mosaic pattern basically right away. Like it's going to be an easy 1-hour class because you start at this little corner down here and start right into the pattern. So we can dive right into learning everything in a 1-hour class. And then last but not least, for classes that are happening before stitches, we have the Fringe at the End shawl, which is this fun sideways knit shawl done. Ours is in one skein of the Blue Heron Rayon Metallic. It's a perfect yarn for this because the slickness of the fiber makes the dropped stitches that you do to create the beautiful fringe at the end, they come out really easy if you use a slippery yarn. Sticky yarns tend to be a little hard to undo. So we'll teach you how to knit the shawl and how to unravel your fringe in that class. Then for our first class in March, there's a little break because we have Stitches West. We have the Cashmere Cowboy Cowl done in one skein of the lusciously soft cashmere. It is a ridiculously soft, lightweight yarn. We did the pattern with one skein by just stopping a little bit early on the instructions for the pattern, which honestly is fine. It's a plenty big enough shawl or cowl without adding that extra like 100 yards that it needs. I don't even think it was 100. I think it was like 50.
I don't remember.
But there's just a tiny bit of pre-work on this one of doing some practice, setting up some yarn on some spare needles for a practice piece so that you can do one of the techniques even though you won't be there on your cowl yet in class. Okay, so that's it for classes for now. There will of course be more to come. If you haven't called dibs on your skein of the February 2023 pop-up club yet, I definitely would. I think this one's gonna sell out because it's
for
so
sure
vibrant and bold and unique. What's not to love,
right?
So we'll talk about what we're wearing real quick and then sign off, pull orders, get ready to open the store. So I am wearing the Raspberry Cordial Shawlette from Casapinka. It is done in fingering weight yarn. This is one skein of Smooshy Cashmere and 2 minis of contrasting colors, although mine were very subtle contrast colors. I had this coral and then this soft gray. The gray was a little too subtle, but whatever, it's still pretty. This would be fun to do, like, because you don't always have to do the pooling stuff actually with a special stitch. I think this would be fun to do with that and then use like lime green for your contrast color.
Yeah.
To tie that in a little bit more. I think it'd be really fun. Okay, then we will show what Susan is wearing.
This one is Gossamer out of Dream and Color.
That is out of one of our exclusives called Posies. And that is also one skein, right?
Yes. Just your basic crescent shawl. Garter stitch. So it's 2 rows of knit 2 together yarn over. There's no rest row in between, which is why the lace looks a little bit different. But not hard.
And it's nice because you do that lace for a little bit and then you do some garter stitch. So that is your rest rows essentially, as you get a little break from peo tension.
It does have a picot bind off, which where am I? There I am. Is totally worth the effort.
I mean, who doesn't love a good picot?
I know. And once you get into them, I find them kind of fun to do.
Yeah, they make your bind off take longer, of course,
yeah,
but they're so pretty.
Yeah.
And then you give it to Susan to block, so you don't even have to worry about the 300 pins.
And I don't know why, but my picot bind-offs are not super tight, whereas a regular bind-off, I'd be really tight.
I still have to go up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to roll with it. It's good.
Yeah, like just go with how you knit is how you knit, and you just work with it.
Yep.
All right, you guys, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll get ready to open the store, and then we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.